This week's Southwest Herts Link for Growth TV show. It's Friday the 4th of December, and as usual we have an absolutely full show for you. Neal, as usual, has lots of sports news about Watford and Kings Langley FC. This week Chris is visiting the kitchen in Croxley Green and is learning how to make mince pies. Tania has lots of local news, and Catherine has news of the local events and charity fundraising plans. As usual, you can contact us on at L4G SW Herts. That's on Twitter, of course. That's at L4G SW Herts on Twitter. Chris, we can see in the background that you're at the kitchen. What are you doing?
Well, I'm going to come in here and find out what the secret is of making mince pies, hopefully. I'm not a big baker myself, but I do like cooking. But here I am down here today, and they've all prepped up for me. They're going to let me loose in the kitchen. We're going to see what we can conjure up. Mince pies. That's what we're going to be doing.
Good. Well,
hopefully we're going to be taking some of those along with me tonight for those folk sleeping outside.
Okay. Well, at least we'll know they'll be nice and fresh and tasty. They
might have been eaten as well.
We'll say, hopefully save some a bit later. But yeah. Tania, it's been a busy week in Southwest Herts.
It's been a very busy week, but I'm very glad to hear that Chris is bringing along some mince pies, because I too will be sleeping out tonight, so hopefully I'll get one of them. But yes, in Watford this week it's been very, very busy. The poor market traders, the German market traders, have had some losses, some thefts from their new stalls in Watford Market. But we have a fantastic ice rink, which I tried out last night with Chris watching on, and Emma from Cambridge, and I skating around in circles. And there's some news on climate change too. Brilliant stuff.
Okay, that's great. Neal, congratulations. You predicted a narrow Watford win last week, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep, so my record's a little bit hit and miss lately, but a well-deserved win, and I'll be telling everyone about it later in the day.
Okay, that's absolutely fabulous. And Catherine, as usual, we've got lots of local events and news and charity fundraising things happening in the next week or so.
Yes, it's a really, really busy time. There's lots of charity things going on. There's lots of festive things going on. We've got various things going on at the Colosseum at the moment. There's Santa, there's a grotto, there's snow, and also news of the Peace Hospice and a new shop opening in the High Street.
Okay, well, thanks very much for that. Look forward to hearing more about that later. Okay, but first, a quick review of Link for Growth events in South West Hertfordshire. That's happened in the past week or so. There was a coffee last Saturday at Barracuda. There was several events during the week. Coffee events yesterday, for example, there was a Perk in Carpenter's Park, and on Wednesday they were at Regis. Was that a Link for Business event, Chris, or just a normal Link for Coffee?
Where was that?
Regis.
The music a bit loud.
Regis? No, that was normal coffee.
Okay, great. I wasn't quite sure. And earlier on today there was a CSI Link for Growth lunch, which was great fun for those of us who attended. Anyway, Chris, as we mentioned in the introduction, December is often sees a start to the mince pie eating season in so many homes with a countdown to Christmas. December the 1st is often sort of like the day when, yes, you can legitimately eat a mince pie. As we mentioned, Chris, you're going to be making some mince pies for us this week with the lovely help of the ladies at the kitchen, aren't you?
I am indeed. So I've gone inside to the kitchen now. So I'm just going to put you on front camera here, and we've got the lovely Linda here now. Hello, Linda. How you doing?
We're good, thank you. Very busy. Right up to Christmas. Yeah.
Good. Can you see that all right in the studio?
We can see Linda's head.
Fantastic. Well, what she's doing down here is she's rolling out some, as I've been informed, it's mince pie pastry. Short crust pastry.
We made it about half an hour ago. It's been chilling nicely in the fridge, so it's easy to handle. And now we're just rolling it out And we're going to make some mince pies actually for your sleep out tonight.
Ah, I see. And we've got another person on the studio who's actually going to be sleeping out with me tonight. That's Tania.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she's looking eagerly on here because she can have one of these later on.
I am indeed. I am lusting up to this already.
Straightforward. Short crust pastry, just like your mum used to make.
Now what's in that short crust pastry then? Because I'm not a big baker, I have to be honest. I love cooking vegetables, roasted, all that kind of stuff, but baking's been a bit of a dark art for me. So what's in this?
We use plain flour and butter and a little bit of Trex, and then we rub it in together. Like we do it by hand, the traditional way, rubbing it in, crumbing it together, and then we add cold water, very cold water, just enough to bring it all together.
Right.
Lightly knead it, pop it in the fridge just so it can chill.
Yeah.
And then roll it out on a lightly floured surface, cut out circles, and pop them into the mince pie tray.
Right.
Which of course is the same tray that we use for our cupcakes and our bakewell tarts. All the other scrummy things we make here.
Fabulous. Looks very impressive, this. I'm going to have to come down here and have a go at this at some point, I'm sure.
You should come to one of our classes, Chris.
I will come to one of your classes and I will do Periscope video things and everything there.
We're going to just bring that up together again, okay? We're going to use that for the tops in one moment. But first of all, we've got the mincemeat here.
Right.
We do buy mincemeat because it's...
Is that beef or lamb?
It's vegetarian mincemeat. You see, the thing is that traditionally, mincemeat, it was a meat thing, and the kind of like hangover for that is the suet, which is in mincemeat. But actually, nowadays you'll find that vegetable suet replaces the beef suet in most mincemeat, because a lot of people don't like to do beef suet.
No.
We like to add in a few extra cherries, and because we are the kitchen, and because we are famous for our sherry-fied fruitcakes, we like to add an extra slug of something to our mincemeat.
You were a little bit light on that sherry, were you there?
Then you just pop a little bit of mincemeat into each one. You don't want to overfill them. You want them to be lovely, but you don't want...
That bottle of sherry would be empty by now if I was here.
Do you like sherry?
If it's all I've got, I'll drink it.
This is the secret, but one night I was working very late on the emails, and I just thought, I just fancy something. What is there? And all there was basically was the sherry that we used to fill the Christmas cakes. So I got one of the shot glasses that we used for the coffee, and I had a little shot of sherry, and it was very nice. It was very nice.
I think I'd be tempted to make Madeira cakes and brandy cakes.
Yeah.
My evenings would be a little bit more...
We do make Madeira cakes, but we don't actually put Madeira in them, funnily enough. That's got a lot of cherry. So these are just little mince tarts. They're not big, heavy mince tarts.
Not laden ones, though.
No, what we do is just roll out the pastry again. People watching this saying, "Oh, I don't do it like that." And this is how we do it.
This is how I do it down the kitchen.
This is how we do it.
Yeah. Hold that to one side for a second. There you go, so a little bit more space.
Thank you very much. And what we like to do is just cut out a little star, go on the top, rather than put a full-blown lid. So these are just like little mince parts as opposed to full-blown mince pies. Nice little taste of Christmas, and we sell hundreds of these in the kitchen. Pop down, you get £1.50. Because that was real.
Ooh. I'll be tempted to have one of these in the break with a cup of coffee while you carry on with the show, folks. Where's that sherry gone anyway?
Just so that the little star just has a nice little shine on it, we do glaze it just with a little milk, like that. And then we pop them in the oven. So 180 degrees, preheated oven.
Well, that looks a darn sight lot cleaner than my oven, I can tell you that much.
We'll come back later and try one.
Yeah. So 180 degrees for how long?
10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15. Okay, so that's what time we've got there, peeps at the ranch. We've got about 10-15 minutes. How about that?
Okay, well, we'll be back after Tania's news section to see how they're getting on. But thanks very much for that, Chris.
All right, no problem. I'll catch up with you later.
Okay, take care. Okay, Tania, so you've seen the mince pies you're about to eat this evening.
Yay! I'm so looking forward to them. Just bring back that sherry bottle with you as well there, Chris. We'll need that tonight.
Well, I think you'll have to supply your own sherry.
Oh, all right. Okay.
And if I remember right, the rules say no alcohol for the evening.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
anyway,
all right. Some other day.
It's time to get that hip flask out, isn't it?
If only I had one, Diane.
Okay. Anyway, on to more serious matters. We've featured a lot about the German market, and we thought, okay, it's up and running. And Chris did a report from down there last week and showed some of the good stuff. And I know that people have bought stuff from there, and it finally seemed to be settling down. But apparently, that's not the case.
No, according to the Observer, there's actually been a couple of thefts down there. The festive addition to the market, as they say, has more than £1,000 worth of damage. Thieves have stolen 60 kilos of sweets. Somebody must have seen them carting those away from the Haribo stall and chopped a Christmas tree up, dumping the roots by a stall. The King of Nuts owners, Ulrika and Michael, said they returned to their stall on Wednesday morning to find gingerbread, toffee apples and nuts had been stolen. There's been lots of opened windows and all sorts of stuff going on. It's not the Watford that we like to know about.
No, but obviously it's a part of Watford that needs to be reported, so something will be done about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Presumably someone will have seen something going on, and the area, of course, is covered by CCTV. So with any degree of persistence, I'm sure those people that have spoilt this particular part of Christmas will be caught and prosecuted.
Yes, yeah, because of course a lot of controversy around the German market has nothing to do with them. It's the way that it's been managed and planned by the council or town and country markets.
Well, you know more than me then.
Okay, and you were out skating last night, I gather, and these people apparently enjoying a bigger and a better ice rink.
It was absolutely brilliant, Diane. Yeah, we were. It was a taster session for Thrive at Reason Coffee Shop and Bookshop, and Emma came over from Link for Growth over in East Anglia sort of area over there, Cambridge area, and having come out of the taster session, we decided, you know what, let's go do it. I've been talking about it for over a year. Let's actually go and experience this ice skating rink, and it was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. There were plenty of people there, and that was sort of a good couple of days after it had opened, when all of the funfair was there to open it. So the much bigger, improved rink this year. It's got 36,000 litres of water, 9,000 more than last year. So that's sort of a third bigger than last year. The staff are lovely. It is brilliant. In fact, Emma and I went on there before we were supposed to. And this lovely young man came over and said, actually, your session hasn't started yet. So it was really, really good, and thoroughly recommended. When the opening at the weekend, there were extreme ice skaters, the Birmingham Ice freestylers, wowing the crowds all the way through the afternoon, and lots of things with fire and people jumping over each other and all sorts of stuff. So the opening was a good success, and last night was fun too.
Okay, that sounds really good. And of course, if you are coming to skating or visiting the German market, or indeed shopping, which is not kind of an unusual activity at this time of year, it's a good idea to come early, isn't it? Because they're upgrading all the town's many of the town centre car parks, and the upgrades aren't complete yet.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems to me a little bit of I mean, this release that I'm reading here is dated the 2nd of December, so it seems to me a bit of a funny time to be upgrading the town centre car parks when town centre is so busy this time of year. But there you go. 3 of the car parks, Gade, Church, and the one Sutton are all being upgraded. So get your parking out early and make sure that you can get a spot. 83% of Gade is going to be available, 80% of Church, but only 41% of Sutton. So Sutton's the place really to avoid if you want to get parking. But please do still come to Watford because there's plenty going on. Just arrive early.
Yeah, I know that City Parks, who also actually support Women's Centre, who I kind of am associated with in one way or another, and have been. I know they've spent an awful lot of money in getting the improvements in place. It's just taken longer than planned because I think they've had to commit to more work than they ever thought they would have to. So I think that's the reason for the delay.
And I have to say, it does look as if the things that they're doing are going to be worth it. So there's new parking management systems being installed, a contactless payment, integrating with mobile apps and a pre-booking service. So it does look good, but pity about the delay, exactly as you say, Diane.
Yeah, exactly. And talking of traffic and everything, there's a road closure warning for January 2016. Now, I know we don't normally talk about these things as live, but it's quite a big road closure, isn't it?
Yeah, all of that area round by the hospital there is having an awful lot of work done to it because of the new road that they're building. So it's Whippendale Road, isn't it, that is going to be closed. Here we go. This is the one. It's Wigan Hall Road, not Whippendale, Wigan Hall. It'll be closed to southbound traffic, so that's traffic going towards Bushy and Oxley from 11th of January for around 6 weeks. So you'll still be able to use that area for your Christmas shopping, which will be good, seeing as how you'll have limited parking in the town centre. But after that, in January, for around about 6 weeks, that southbound side of Wigan Hall Road is going to be closed. So this is for that work that's going on at the hospital.
Yeah, okay, that's great, and thanks for that. We talked about this in the past, about the recommendations for Watford's new electoral ward boundaries, because it's been a fairly hot topic throughout the past year or so, and finally the final recommendations have been made.
That's right, they have. They're all been made through the electoral body, set to go before Parliament. They say that they've taken into account all of the comments that were made by the local people. There have been some changes made, so the Kites area will now be part of Meriden Ward rather than Stamborough Ward as previously proposed. For example, there's another one recommended that the whole of the Greenbank Road is part of Nascot Ward rather than it being included in Legate's Ward. So, you know, changes have been made as a result of the representations that have been made. The number of councillors hasn't changed. It's still 36 councillors representing 12 3-member wards across the borough. So we've still got as many people representing us, even though the wards have changed.
Yeah, and of course the reason why this is so important is that in next May the whole of Watford Borough Council are up for re-election, aren't they?
Well, there you go. Who knows what will happen then?
Well, yes, because normally it's 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Anyway, there's a new website promoting Croxley Green's history.
Yeah, this is good. This is a really nice thing. So Croxley Green Association, Croxley Residents Association.co.uk have got a new little bit of a website going on here with loads of local history on it. So it's a local history project. It's had some parish council money to help it, and it's got some fantastic resources on it. But one of the things that I noticed here that I thought someone that we know might actually be interested in is that they're now looking for somebody to interview for posterity, a volunteer to interview for posterity and record the interviews of a long list of locals that have got fantastic stories to tell about the Croxley area. Anyway, there's this fantastic website here, York Road School, local links, community plan, local issues, local business, the residents, Stone's Orchard, lots of photographs, lots of conversations with people on there, but they're looking for someone to do some more, Diane.
Okay, great. Okay, now moving across to Hertsmere, and another local initiative, they've got a Shop Until You Drop Small Business Saturday tomorrow.
That's right. Nice local initiative there, but linked to a big national initiative. So their Shop Until You Drop event after Black Friday and Cyber Monday last weekend, all of those things that the big stores tend to have huge say in, they're parting their as part of their Creative Hertsmere project. The council's economic development strategy, they're supporting Small Business Saturday. But actually Small Business Saturday is a really important initiative across the country. It was started some years ago. I'm having looked it up today, about 2010, by one of the big banks, can't remember which one now. But did you know that 60%, in fact I know you did know that 60% of the money that you spend in local shops is likely to go back to local people, local residents, local organisations, and be spent locally. Whereas it's a much, much, much smaller percentage if you spend that money in a national organisation like one of the big supermarkets or a big chain or even the franchise organisations. A lot more of the money stays locally, which is better for the local economy if you spend your money in small businesses. So tomorrow is Small Business Saturday. If you're out shopping, then please use a small business.
Okay, and the Hertsmere are also changing their planning policy duty officer service. Yeah, this is when you're thinking of building and you want to ask a question of the planning officer.
That's right, yeah. I thought this was a really good idea, actually. So what they're doing from Monday the 14th of December, you'll be able to contact the duty planning officer every day between 9 till 1, Monday to Friday, for general planning advice and guidance. Really good idea. I know that when we extended our previous house, getting that advice was quite an expensive thing to do. So having the duty planning officer available will be really, really good.
Okay. And we're going to be talking football a bit later and everything, but there's a couple of really nice stories that were emerged from Watford Football Club this week. The first is the first team players donated old kit to charity, and also if you want you can buy the poppy shirts for the remembrance match that took place against Leicester.
That's right, yes. Have you ever wanted, says the Watford Observer, to own a pre-loved Watford FC kit? Well, there's now plenty of opportunity for you to do so. Oxfam in St Albans have got the 27-year-old right winger, now I've got to pronounce this, Ishiki Anya. I think that's probably not right.
Neal laughing.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, we've got his old Watford FC tracksuits and books. He's also donated old Scotland tracksuits. So Watford FC tracksuits, boots, Scotland tracksuits, all donated to Oxfam in St Albans, and they're so excited to receive the generous donation. It's a great way for them to be able to raise money and sell those kits. So that's the Watford particular kit, but there's also the poppy shirts. So these were worn in the Remembrance Monday match day against Leicester City, and every single one of those Watford football players who played in that match have signed their shirts, and they've all been donated to the Poppy Appeal, and they're going to be auctioned on the auction site eBay. So anyone that wants to go and find how much any of those kits are going to set them back, Watford FC auctions.co.uk is where they'll all be.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. Before we go to Neil, let's just double check on the progress of those mince pies. I can't smell anything yet, Chris.
Hey, we're here. They're just done. They're just done. Can you hear me? Right, here we go. I'm gonna just put you on front camera because actually, Linda was just asking me, am I going to be pulling these out or not? And look at them. There they are. Look, can you see them? You can see them there. Look.
There you go.
Absolutely fantastic. They're all baked. They're ready to roll. Look absolutely delicious. They do, Tanya.
Just little mince tartlets, like we were saying. Maybe if we'd known sleep out, you
well, they look amazing. Look at them. Look at those.
Oh, I'm looking forward to them.
We need to get them out of the bunting as quick as we can.
Do they not are they easier to get out when they're a bit cooler? Or no, they stick.
And especially because if any of the mincemeat is rolled over the edge, then that'll set.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Chris.
Really,
Yeah.
A bit later on, we'll get you to do a taste test.
Well, I'll do taste test later. But look at this. Look at this. We've got others here. Look at this. Look others. We've got mince pies coming out of our ears now.
I think we need to put these on a nice little cake stand to make them look nice, don't you? So you get a nice, final picture of them. So I'm going to get you talk to your Chris.
Don't taste them too quickly, though, Chris, because they'll be very, very hot.
I'm not going to taste them. In fact, I'm not going to taste them straight away. I think we're going to be decorating them and cooking a few more and stuff like that. So we'll go back to you guys and you carry on with the sport and other boring things. I'm having a great time here.
Okay, well, I'm sure that eating mince pies is everyone's favourite hobby, or nearly everyone's favourite hobby. But
here we are, look. I think this was actually.
Oh, look at this! Look, she's just saying, there you go. Look, we're going to get a dish and everything here. Look.
Oh yes, I can see.
Look at that. Right, so are they mine, Linda? Is that what we're saying?
I'm trying to think of a suitable response.
Hey, look at this! It's Christmas as well. Snow and everything. That'll be us in the morning, dusted in.
This is what you need, isn't it? This is what you need.
There we go. Look at that.
I have to find something suitable for you. Hang on.
I actually think I think I've blagged some sherry here as well.
I don't know, Chris. Drinking cooking sherry. Have you sunk that low?
There we go. Look.
Chris, the cooking sherry.
Cheers.
Look at that. Cheers. There we go. Look at that. Look. Here we go. Look. Here. Oh, hang on. No, I've got to go around this way. There we go. Look. There we go. Well, can you see us, guys? There we go. Look.
Well done.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Sherry there.
Absolutely amazing.
Something about sherry.
Right. See you later then. All right.
Yes, definitely. See you later.
Cheers. Bye now. Bye.
Bye.
Coffee up to that.
Okay, Neil.
Hello.
Hi. I mean, that was fairly interesting, but for many people, it's not as interesting as what's happening with Watford FC.
No, a great result last week. I said I couldn't see them losing against Aston Villa, and they did the job. 3-2. It was a bit tight at the end, tighter than it needed to be, but both Odi Nagalu and Troy Deeney scored. Unfortunately, Gomez, the keeper, was injured with 20 minutes to go, but they got the job done.
Yeah, I mean, the substitute goalkeeper, Arkuliski, is it?
I'm not sure of pronouncing. I would guess Alauskis.
Alauskis, okay, we'll agree on Alauskis then. He said it was the hardest 10 minutes of his career. I mean, it's pretty, I can put it, it's pretty difficult thing to jump into, isn't it? A game with only 10 minutes or so to go.
Yeah, and it did worry a lot of Watford fans because he's meant to be our reserve keeper and he looked extremely panicky, to tell the truth. But I think that was the circumstances of the game being chucked in at the last minute. He is an international keeper. He is used to big games. So if he has to start from the beginning, I'm sure he won't be as nervous.
Okay, now at the end of this next bit, I'm going to ask you for a prediction to see if you can keep up your good run. But Gissi Sanchez Flores is saying that the Watford head coach is saying that he's clear what he wants from his Watford side, especially with a view to this game that's coming up tomorrow against Norwich.
Yeah, he wants them to start faster. The last home game against Man United, the first half was the worst half of football they played all season. They took a long while to get going, and he needs them to pressurise right from the beginning. Norwich have changed their formation a little bit lately, and they've become a much harder side to beat. They've had some excellent results against Liverpool and Arsenal, so they're not going to be a pushover.
Yeah, okay. And this game is going to be fit, or are they still undecided?
Well, the hints are that he is going to be fit, but they're hedging their bets, saying they won't announce it till the last minute. But the language Flores is using leads us to believe that he will be playing.
Okay, great. And who else is injured or fit?
Tell you what, I haven't actually got that information. I know Barami is injured and he was on the bench last week and did feature earlier in the year. But I expect the squad to be pretty similar because Guardiola will do that role.
Okay, that's interesting. And of course, the one Norwich player who's actually quite well known to Watford, and because he's planning to stop Watford's double act of Dini and Igalo this season.
Yeah, a little bit of inside information. Last year, Sebastian Basson played a big role actually when he came in on loan and helping us out in the defence. Obviously, that means in training he sees the way they play and he'll be trying to help his friends up. But I don't think that'll stop one of them scoring because the interplay they have, it doesn't really matter whether you know what they're going to do or not. It's so quick that you can't react in time.
Well, let's hope you're right. And the bits I've been reading have also been talking about the rough reception that Norwich's Wes Hoolahan is going to receive at Watford. Patrick, give us some background as to why.
Yeah, rightly so. Don't go anywhere near him in the box would be my tip. Last season's home game, we were heading towards quite an easy draw. It was petering out. The game was petering out, even though Watford had the most of the play. And Hoolahan, for some unknown reason, apart from, I wouldn't want to say he was deliberately cheating, but for some unknown reason, he went down like a sack of spuds in the box when there was no one near him, and every time you watch it, it looks worse and worse. And yeah, those points were the points that probably kept us from winning the title in the end. Okay,
so there is history there then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now it's only early December, but already people are talking about the squad with a view to the transfer and stuff like that. And we'll talk about the transfer speculation in more detail a bit later on. But Gissi Flores is saying that Watford whole squad is very important. You can't just rely on the same sort of 12, 13 players for the whole season long. He's got to use every player in his squad.
Yeah, I think this would come from questions after last week's game when he started Paredes at right wing, which is an unfamiliar position for him. But he had been coming on as sub and playing well there. Although he was fairly ineffectual, what Flores has said is right. You can't go through a season these days with just using 13 players. They'll burn out. You have to have a squad of players that can come in and out. And January played every single game, and he needed a rest. So, yeah, we need the squad to all click in when they're called upon, and that mean other players will get their chance too.
Okay, and Guardiola, is that the correct pronunciation?
Guardiola.
Sorry. Okay, was signed from Crystal Palace at the end of the transfer window. He was on loan twice last season with Watford, wasn't he? Which meant he was basically at Watford for half a season or so. And fans have been saying, yes, he's got to start, and the manager keeps putting him on the bench and he hasn't started the game since he signed. But apparently he's making progress all the time.
Flores has been talking up Guerrero. Fans' favourite just after half a season. I mean, the work effort he put in at the end of last season was amazing. Unfortunately, we haven't had a chance to see that this year. But Flores keeps saying he's getting closer to a first-team start, and with the squad system, he will get that chance. It's just a shame he's having to wait so long. But the team are playing well, so you can't really worry about that.
Yeah, okay. And as I said, it is transfer speculation season. I guess we've got 8 weeks of this to the end of January. And Watford, depending upon which reports you read, are either like to bring in a new winger or a new forward, amongst other players that they might well bring in. And of course, there's an awful lot of talk about Abidal, who used to play for Spurs and Arsenal and Manchester City. But at the same time, Flores keeps saying that Dini and Igalo are what he would describe as his perfect pairing. So what is happening?
Yeah, so Dini and Igalo have made such a great pairing this year. They do work together extremely well, but there's always the risk of an injury, so you need cover. And we haven't seen any cover from any of our players yet this season. And it really doesn't sound like Flores is confident in any of the team. So I do expect him to try to get another forward in summer. Now, Adebayor is probably the biggest name that's available. I personally, and I know a lot of other Watford fans, would not want to sign him on a full-time contract because he's a player who turns up, does well for 6 months or a year, and then just effectively stops playing. So get him on loan. There's nothing to lose. Get him on loan for half a season, and that would be great for Watford, I reckon. Yeah,
okay. Kings Langley. They had a bit of a bad week after a run of good results.
Yeah, it's a real shame. They got themselves into the playoff position and then they've lost their last 2 games. They're back down to 9th. It's not too late. There's still plenty of games to go, but they need to turn this round and not let it become a run.
Yeah, and I mean, they lost 2-0 against league leaders St Ives last week, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think that really shook their confidence because then they lost again in midweek.
Yeah, and that time it was a loss at home, which is never good. And finally, I remember, in fact, I was there on the evening this happened, that the former Watford forward, Ian Richardson, a hero of Watford in Europe, scored against Kaiserslautern. I was there with my father. Were you there?
I was in the family stand at the time. I was quite young, but I was in the family stand at the time. It was an amazing game. Yeah, got through the quarter-final of the Cup in our first time after finishing second in the league the year before. It was an amazing night. Amazing night. He's just taken over Tring Athletic. So they're a small club with not a lot of money, unfortunately, but since he took over as part-time manager, and before he was given the role full-time, they've gone on a bit of an unbeaten run, so they've had the confidence to give him the job full-time.
Okay, well, let's hope that that all works out well for him. And thanks again, Neil, for the sports news. I can see that you've got a shop full of people waiting to be served, coffee and everything. But we'll get back to you a bit later, perhaps.
Okay, thank you. Speak soon.
See you soon. Bye. Okay, Catherine, it's charity news time and events. And let's start with the new Peace Hospice shop.
Yeah, absolutely. It's open, basically. If you know where Reason Coffee Shop is, then you'll know where the new Peace Hospice shop is, because it's about 6 doors down, if even that. So up by the pond area. It was opened this week by Councillor Corinne Hastrick, who officially cut the ribbon to declare it open. It's a fantastic new little shop, obviously doing all the same sorts of goods as the other Peace Hospice shops do. So obviously they would welcome donations of clothes and gifty things and anything at all that you think would be suitable to pass on to others. The work that the Peace Hospice shops do is vital. They help to continue providing care to patients in the hospices, and being faced with having to raise over £5 million each year to deliver those services, the shops play a major part in this. So one little stat for you: last year the Peace Hospice care sold 779,943 items to an outstanding 249,295 customers, and with the support of its community, will sell even more this year. So yeah, go and visit the new Peace Hospice shop.
Okay, that's great. And normally I talk about yellow comedy, but this week, and our events coming up and everything, but this week is kind of like their battle for Hertfordshire.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think they're actually they've got shows on tonight, tomorrow night, and culminating on Sunday with this competition that they're running for Hertfordshire's funniest comedians. They've got 8 of the best comedians in the county who will be battling it out to be crowned King or Queen of Hearts. There will be a whole bunch of people turning up at the Pump House. So this is down Lower High Street, a little bit further down. Heading into Local Board Road down there. It's a one-day competition on Sunday, December the 6th. It's going to start at 2:30. There's a whole host of local comedians lined up to entertain. One that I will mention is LJ Dafunk, who, if anybody's seen any of the Yellow Comedy Nights recently, they will know that he's a pretty popular act. So, but there's a whole host of comedians on. The show will also feature the sketch troupe, the Bosun's Delight, which I believe is Andrew Carberry and his troupe, and the proceedings will be emceed by Michael Hill. Again, if you know, those of you that have seen Yellow Comedy will know that Michael is a very funny chap as well. So yeah, get on down to the Pump House on Sunday. If you want to see them tonight, they're also performing at Trinity Bar in Harrow, Station Road in Harrow, and tomorrow night they'll also be at Attico Arts Centre, which is down the bottom of Lower High Street as well. So a weekend of comedy. Good luck to all those taking part.
Yes, I'm sure Alex Murray, who used to present this show, will be glad to learn that Arthur Turner will be presenting on Sunday afternoon.
Oh, absolutely. I think if Alex can sit just in the front row, right in the middle of the front row, then he'll probably become part of the show. But
exactly.
Fantastic.
Yes. Now, winter in Watford, that's kind of like an umbrella for all sorts of things that's happening, panto shows and stuff like that. Maybe you could just give us a quick rundown, but before you do, I can see Chris waving at me.
Mince pies must be ready.
Yes, I think they are. Chris, are the mince pies ready?
Oh, yeah, the mince pies are ready. And here we are, look, we're sitting here. I don't know if you can see those mince pies in front of you there. Look, can you see them? Those mince pies are looking pretty good. Now, I'm gonna try one of these mince pies now.
Half the plate's gone already.
Yeah, half the plate has gone already. That's because
It's fun, Chris. Someone's been trying them already, haven't they?
Yeah, wasn't me. We had Duncan, you know, from the Whiteheath Farm. He's the milk supplier here, and he's just come in and he didn't recognise me, but I've been up there to see his farm and his cows. He didn't know that. Yeah, I'm going to try this now. Here we go. Moment of truth. They really are rather good.
Jealous.
I've had the sherry. I feel like a reindeer or something. Sorry?
You have got a rather red nose.
Hey, hang on a minute. No, these are very good. We're going to have these tonight. These will keep the cockles warm and the other things, or whatever they are.
I'm so looking forward to them. You've really sold them well, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll let you get on with the show. I think I'm done here now, but it's been very, very good. Thank you very much, Linda, for coming down here. It's been I'm sure that tonight they'll all be very, very grateful for what you've done.
I've got plenty more in the oven for you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, there's another couple of batches in the oven, so we're going to be well looked after.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So cheerio then.
Okay, well, cheerio, Chris, and thanks very much, and thanks to everyone at the kitchen for helping out like that. And
yeah, no, it's been really good. Take care now.
Okay, enjoy the mince pies. I can see Tania's mouth is already watering, and she's looking forward to it. But yeah, anyway.
All right, cheerio.
Okay, cheers. Bye bye. Catherine, we were talking about Winter in Wonderland as being a kind of umbrella.
I'm not sure how I can follow mince pies. I mean, they look so good, didn't they?
Well, you can at least try. Come on, humour me. Humour me.
It's a Christmassy theme we're heading into, so that's something, isn't it?
Exactly. So, you know, just think of it as the hors d'oeuvre to your entree.
Absolutely, yes. Entree, canapes. We're back to food again. No, we're looking at Winter in Watford. If you can get online at all, Google Winter in Watford, and the website will pop up. It's actually got a whole list of all the things going on around Watford at the moment. So it includes information about the skating, the ice rink. It includes information about the market. It includes information about the panto, which is, am I right in thinking it's Dick Whittington? I haven't got it in front of me. I've got a panto list here somewhere. Watford Palace. Dick Whittington, yes, which starts tonight, I think, is the first night. So if you fancy a bit of It's Behind You, then book up to go and see the panto at Watford Palace. If that's not quite your thing, or you fancy something else for the kids, you can go and see Santa Claus at the Coliseum. Santa Claus on a Magical Christmas Journey, which is a song and dance experience. It's on daily, various different times. Check online or check with the Coliseum to see when it's on. Sometimes it's on 2 shows a day, sometimes there are 3. I think there's 3 at the weekends. Absolutely brilliant for little kids, probably up to the age of 8 or something like that. Where you can go and experience the whole Santa experience, and I believe they actually promise snow at every performance as well, so that's pretty fantastic. Also at the Coliseum, staying at the Coliseum, they're going to have Miracle on 34th Street. You've seen the film. This is the stage show. Lots of musical spectacular things going on stage, and this is on from the 21st to 28th of December, so if you're interested in going to see that, I would book early. We were at the Coliseum last night, and there's quite a buzz around the Coliseum these days. There's so many things going on there. So if you do fancy going to see any of the Christmas shows, there's some orchestral shows, there's a festive musical show going on. If you want to go and see them, book early. They are getting booked up very quickly now.
Okay, but it's not just events happening in Watford, they're also happening in the Three Rivers district area. And there's actually quite a few there. So we'll just go through some of the ones that are coming up this week, if you can, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Peace Hospice Christmas Party, 1920s theme. This is actually on tonight at the Langleys in Watford High Street. I'm probably guessing that if you haven't got a ticket already, you might not be able to get one, but it's still worth a shot if that's what you fancy. There'll be lots of entertainment going on. It's £35 per person, or £345 for a table of 10. It'll be an evening of entertainment and festive cheer. At Christchurch CV School, the PTA have organised a Christmas fair there. That's on tomorrow from 11 till 2. That's at the Common in Rickmansworth Road, Chorleywood. Also on tomorrow is Watford Rural Parish Council Christmas Fun Day, and this is at the precinct in St Andrews Road in South Oxley. As you head into South Oxley from Watford, the precinct is on the right. You can usually park around the back there somewhere. So there's lots of festive things going on there from 11 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. What else is going on? Watersmeet in Rickmansworth, they've got their panto as well. Oh yes, they have. They're showing Cinderella. Again, they start tonight as well, going on till the end of the month. If you fancy some Cinderella fun, then book your ticket down there. Prices start from £10. There's a tea dance, if that's what you fancy. That's at Chorleywood Memorial Hall, Common Road, Chorleywood, and that's on the 8th of December. I'll put all the links up for all these events as well, so you can find them and all the details. At Watersmeet also they have the Film Hub, which is a film a club that meets on a regular basis, and they are showing the sing-along version of Frozen, and that's going to be on the 12th of December, so that's just heading into next week. But all these things, they're very, very popular, so if you do want to go along, then have a look on the website, book it up, and have a fab time.
Okay, that's absolutely great. And it's, as I said, it's Also, the time for when lots of charities are doing their light festivals, which we've talked about in the past and that sort of thing. But the Michael Sobel Hospice have a festive coffee morning coming up this week.
They do, yes. Festive coffee morning on Saturday the 12th of December from 10 till 2. There'll be a range of very seasonal gifts, jewellery, lavender goods, stained glass items, sweets, gifts. There's some live entertainment on there as well. Live music from Mixed Emotions. The Red Cross are doing massages as well. That sounds fantastic. There's also going to be a children's reading corner from 10:45 in the morning till 12:15 to keep the little ones amused. I'm sure they'll be amused with lots of other things too. Lots of delicious homemade goodies as well, cane scokes and samosas, and obviously some hot drinks too. So that's next Saturday, 12th of December, 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon at the Michael Sobel Centre, which is at Gate 3, Mount Vernon Hospital.
Yes, and of course this is the time of year for carols and everything, and the Carpenters Park Church have their community Christmas carols.
Yeah, Carpenters Park Church Community Christmas Carols. So that sounds like a fabulous community event, and they're featuring the St Merrill School Choir, which is obviously the local school there, and musicians. This is in the Community Hall in Gibbs Couch in Carpenters Park on Wednesday the 9th of December at 7:30. So if you're local to the area, or if you fancy popping into the area for the evening, that should be a fab night.
Okay, and the South Oxley Choir is still trying to sell tickets, or are still selling tickets for their winter concert.
Yep, absolutely. Last few tickets available. This is the South Oxley Choir. This is the choir that was originally put together by Gareth Malone back in 2008 during the BBC TV series The Choir. Which is all about getting people together. Community choirs all over the country have popped up since then. This is the original choir. They've got their concert at St John's Church in Sutton Road in Watford, and that's on Saturday the 12th of December at 7 o'clock. Tickets are £10. So there are still some available. I'll pop the link up for phone number and the email address to contact.
Yeah. And there's a Christmas carol event happening around the tree in Bedmond.
Yes, Bedmond Village Task Force invites you to join them for their carols around the tree. This is on Wednesday the 16th of December, so a week on Wednesday. 2 weeks on Wednesday? No, a week on Wednesday. 6 o'clock outside the village hall in Bedmond. They're going to have a procession through the village to the tree outside the tin church. Bring a lantern or a torch if you haven't got a lantern. They invite all the villagers and anybody else who wants to pop along to come and see them turn on their Christmas lights. So from 6 o'clock it starts. From 6:15 there's carols around the tree, and there's mince pies and mulled wine afterwards. So that sounds like fun too.
It does. Okay, well thank you for all of that, Catherine. I mean, there's quite a lot on there and everything. And of course you can find it on various local websites, and we'll post the odd link or two up to help you get there. Link for Growth has several events planned coming up this week. Tomorrow, Chris is at Barracuda, the cafe restaurant next to the market between 10 and 11:30. As I always say, it is a great opportunity to discover more about Link for Growth and what it does and what it hopes to achieve, and why we run this TV show each week to try and inform people and stuff like that. It's usually a fairly informative session, and it's a good introduction to finding out more about what Link for Growth is and does. On Monday the 7th, there is a Link for Growth coffee at the kitchen. So Chris, I wonder if it's going to be lemon drizzle cake or mince pies. He's not here to ask anymore, but it'd be nice fun to ask, and I think we've created quite a conundrum there, and maybe we'll get him to answer the question next week when he's on the show. It's a evening coffee though, so it starts at 5:30 and goes on till 7. The kitchen, as we said, is in Croxley Green. It's opposite the station in that little parade of shops there. Now on Wednesday the 9th, we're at the Foxton House for Link for Drinks. We'll be meeting before that, starting at 6:30, to discuss the community Kickstarter initiative in Rickmansworth. So if you're interested in building community in Rickmansworth, we will be having a meeting down there at 6:30 to explain what the community Kickstarter initiative is. It gives you another opportunity to ask any questions about what it is, and we're looking for volunteers to help get that that scheme up and running and building a tighter community in Rickmansworth. On Thursday, we have the monthly Link for Growth coffee at the Mercure Hotel near 41, starting at 10, and that is always, as usual, hosted by Catherine. I know that it's an event that it seems to attract more businesses than some of our other events. So if you're interested into kind of networking, but networking and building the community at the same time, rather than just networking for business sake, then it's a good event to call in and see what's happening. As with all Link for Growth events, entry is free. You only have to pay for what you consume, which is a very generous deal. So if you turn up and you don't eat anything or drink anything, then you've got a free networking meeting or community building meeting, or just a meeting to get an opportunity to go out and meet people. And just in case you haven't seen anything on the web or Facebook or YouTube or anything like that, the first ever Link for Growth conference will be taking place on the 8th of January at Missenden Abbey. You can get further details on Chris's Facebook feed or on the Eventbrite page, on the Link for Growth Eventbrite page for details. Numbers are limited, but it will be a great opportunity. So if you're involved with Link for Growth and a subscriber, then please, and you've not registered yet, then please do, because tickets are limited, but they are going very fast at the moment. Before we do the restaurant review, Tania, do you want to say a little bit about Dens?
Do I want to say a little bit about Dens? That would be a lovely opportunity. Thank you very much, Diane. Dens is a fantastic, brilliant charity based in Hemel Hempstead, covers the whole of the Decorum area, and it helps people who are homeless in the Decorum area. It's got some amazing facilities, a day drop-in centre, and I went over a couple of weeks ago to their residential facility that's recently been built, where people can be there for a few months. 12 weeks is the norm for them, and it's actually a facility where it helps people to turn their lives around. So it actually helps people to gain some skills, get themselves up to date with a CV and all of that sort of thing, and actually move on into accommodation which they can take responsibility for themselves. So it's a brilliant opportunity for people to get themselves off the streets. And as you heard throughout today's programme, Chris and I and a bunch of other people that we know from our Friday morning breakfast meetings are sleeping out tonight in aid of Dens. So we're all raising some finance to help support this fantastic charity that really does help people to get off the street. It's great, because I mean, what we do with Reason Coffee Shop, of course, is the Pay It Forward scheme for people that are homeless and need a coffee or a warm drink, a cold drink, or something to eat. This is actually that next step when people are ready to move off the streets. This is a fantastic facility to help them to do that. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you for that opportunity, Diane.
That's okay. I know. I just hope that it's going to be nice and dry for you and not too wet and windy and cold.
There was a point last night that I was sitting here and I was listening to the rain on the roof and thinking, for goodness sake, if this is what it's like tomorrow night, it's going to be really miserable. But the forecast doesn't look too bad, so with any fortitude, we'll be fine.
Well, hopefully you'll be fueled by mince pies.
Yeah, absolutely. They look really good.
It'll be a mince pie fueled night by the sounds of it.
We'll end up actually, I'm sure, having a really good night, which is it's going to be profound, I think, but doing it with so many lovely people, it'll also be good fun. I'm sure it's not like that for the people who have to sleep out every night of the week. No,
I think that's a huge difference, but you know, hats off to you for doing it, and to Chris and to everyone else who's doing it, and we wish you lots of luck.
Thank you very much indeed, Diane. Thank you.
Oh, by the way, if people are interested to contribute to the fundraising scheme, is there a Just Giving page for Dens, or have you got your own one that links to Dens? Or
That's right. There is, Diane. Absolutely. My own Just Giving page. I mean, we're all doing it together. So whichever one of us you support, you're supporting the same charity. My own Just Giving page. I'm just looking for. It is a Just Giving page, and it's Tania L. Clarke, TANIA LCLARKE. I think that's all it says, really. I've got some offline donations, so anyone that wants to pop into B Spa and give us offline donations, that's brilliant too. But yes, it's Tanya's Sleep Out page. And it's justgiving.com / there we go, justgiving.com / Tania L. Clarke.
okay, well, good luck with that. And Catherine, restaurant review, please. I mean, we've been talking a lot about mince pies, so it seems only right that we should talk about restaurants.
Absolutely. Well, just before we do that, I'm going to mention one little event that's happening tomorrow. I just saw it pop up on social media earlier. It was on Twitter. Gino De Campo, who is obviously a celebrity chef, TV chef. He's been all over the place, often on TV. He lives locally, and he's doing a book signing in Costco tomorrow. So if you fancy getting hold of Gino's Islands in the Sun and having a signed copy of it, then pop along to Costco tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And you should bump into him somewhere. Yeah, moving on to restaurant review. As I mentioned earlier, we were at Watford Coliseum last night. We were seeing the SAS band, which is Spike Edney, who is the keyboard player and musical producer of Queen, put together a whole host of various Goldie Oldie musos who entertained us last night. Absolutely fabulous. Everything from the 70s up to present day was brilliant. But what we did beforehand was to have a meal for the first time in the cafe bar. We've had a meal in the dining room before, but never the cafe bar. So this was a new experience. It was actually very pleasant. I contacted them earlier to see whether we needed to book a table. Absolutely no need at all. Just turn up any time from 5:30, and they've got their cafe menu on the table. So there's a nice little selection of things like lemon salt goujons, there's southern fried chicken strips, there's nachos, whole selection of sandwiches, burgers, absolute must for a cafe bar, but there's a whole range of them as well, including a veggie special as well, and also a skinny burger without a bun, or you can have a traditional fish and chip supper, which is also fantastic. We opted for burgers. They were great. Service was lovely. It was a nice start to the evening. What the Coliseum are doing a lot these days as well is actually having a live band in the lobby before the shows take place as well. So we had music while we ate as well. It was a very nice experience and not too expensive either. So if you fancy a snack before a show, or even just popping in and having a meal before heading into town of an evening, then the cafe bar at the Coliseum is a must.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that. And on that foodie note, I think it's time to say cheerio. And Neal and Chris have had to leave us for various reasons. But I'd like to say thank you to both of them, and also to Tania, as well as good luck, as I said earlier. And also thank you to Catherine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. See you soon.
Right, okay, well, on that note, it's time to say cheerio. Bye-bye.